Hello? Hello again. It's Lew. Another video. Well, this one was prompted by a comment that was made in my last video. It was just a comment someone made. They asked me this question: do you know who the real Israel is? Well, of course I do. We recognize each other by the love that we have for one another, but we also are in covenant with Yahuah. I was walking through this store and I saw this block of wood with this message on it, and it said, family isn't always blood. It's the people in your life who want you in theirs. And I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, it's general, but it's not scripture, of course, but it is true that we want people around us that we love, and we don't expect anything out of them other than, the fact that they accept our love. People walk around and they are afraid that somebody's going to say Merry Christmas or Happy New Year, which is nonsense, of course. We know that. But what they're trying to express is their love for you. They just love people. And we just respond with, thank you. And the same to you. It's okay. It's all right. We're going to be tested in many, many ways. And the big test is, of course, love. That's the big test. There was this idea that I wanted to bring to you, that we can identify wolves or dogs that Scripture talks about very easily. Yirmiyahu, the one they call Jeremiah, chapter 3, verse 15, it talks about the Ark of the Covenant and how it will not be made anymore. No one will care. No one will think about it. And of course, what people are thinking about is what their shepherds have been teaching them. Sacraments and things like that. Meeting on the first day of the week in the morning. Like, what? Where did that come from? Well, it came from pagans originally, and then it got adopted because the shepherds are the dogs. But Yahuah says at Yirmiyahu chapter 3, verse 15, quote, "And I shall give you shepherds according to my heart, and they shall feed you with knowledge and understanding," unquote. Yisrael, or Israel as they call it, don't think of the country or the state. Think of us as being in covenant with Yahuah wherever we are and whatever we look like, all around the earth, that guard his commandments. Yisrael is a people group and includes all who are called to love the name of Yahuah and guard his Shabbat. Now, the name of Yahuah, what is that? Well, it's his name. It's not his authority. It's his name. And it's used more than any other word in the scriptures. But there was also an object that was referred to as the name of Yahuah. And that object was the Ark of the Covenant. It was referred to as the name of Yahuah. And anyway, as far as the people group that we were talking about, that this gentleman was asking me about, do you know who the real Israel is? Well, it is a people group, but it isn't identified by skin color or language or ethnicity. These are not factors. Not that we don't get them from Scripture. That our skin is an indication of who we are. It doesn't matter who we are. What matters is, do we know him? And do we have knowledge and understanding of what he wants of us? The people group is a mixed multitude. And it's exactly like the mixed multitude of enslaved peoples of all ethnicities that came out with his children, and they became one with his children. They became a nation of a mixed multitude as they came out of Egypt. And they went into the wilderness to Sinai. And he covenanted with them and gave him his 10 words, his 10 commandments. Anyway, this mixed multitude represented all nations and languages of the earth. I mean, that's what it pictured. And we were told to teach all nations his name and be immersed in his name for the forgiveness of our crimes against his covenant, and to guard his covenant as closely as we could possibly do, and teach them to obey everything that we were commanded to obey. These were outsiders. He told us, go and teach all nations. Yashayahu, they call him Isaiah 56, gives assurance that foreigners who join to Yahuah, all who guard his Shabbat, will be given a name better than sons and daughters. I thought that was amazing. Now that's Yashayahu, the one they call Isaiah 56. Read the whole thing. And Husha, they call Hosea. Husha, chapter 2, verse 23, says, and I shall say to those who are not my people, you are my people, while they say, my Elohim. Romans 9:25 references Husha 2:23. Romans 9:25, quote, and he says in Husha, that's Hosea 2, I shall call them my people, who were not my people, and her beloved, who was not beloved. Yashayahu 56:11 and 12 says, and the dogs have a strong appetite. They never have enough. And they are shepherds. They have not known understanding. All of them look to their own way, every one for his own gain, even from his own end, saying, come, let me bring wine and fill ourselves with strong drink, and tomorrow shall be as today, even much greater. Reading from every scriptural resource, even to the last chapter of Revelation, obedience is what is emphasized. Revelation 22:14. Blessed are those doing his commandments, that they might have the right to the tree of life and to enter the gates of the city. Yahuah made all mankind from one blood, as Paul informed the Greek philosophers at the Areopagus, which was 400 noblemen at Athens, if you read Acts 17, verse 26. And what they call Ecclesiastes, Koheleth, the preacher. It says, obedience is the duty of all mankind. The native branches are to show no distinction between the branches that Yahuah has grafted in among them. Did you hear that? The native branches are to show no distinction between the branches that Yahuah has grafted in among them. To do so may cause him to prune them out from his vineyard. The one they call Leviticus, the book, Uikra, and he called Uikra chapter 19, verses 33 and 34. Quote, when a foreigner resides among you in your land, do not mistreat them. The foreigner residing among you must be treated as your native born. Love them as yourself, for you were foreigners in Egypt, unquote. There is one Torah for the native as well as the foreigner. Shemoth, or Exodus, chapter 12, verse 49 says, there is one Torah for the native born and for the stranger who sojourns among you. That's pretty clear. No distinction is to be made among us. Romans 10, verses 12 and 13, Acts 15, verse 9, Galatians 3, 28, and more. We must steer clear of teachings that lend themselves to divisiveness among Yahuah's chosen, promoting a preference among all the foreigners whom Yahuah has called. Don't be preferential. Do not be deceived by men's cunning deceptions. The dogs are the shepherds who mistreat and mislead Yahuah's people. Yeshayahu 56:11 tells us this. At 1 John, or 1 Yehuchanan, chapter 2, verse 4, the one who says, I know him, but does not guard his commandments is a liar, and the truth is not in that one. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next exciting video.